Jupiter transit to sidereal Gemini and what it globally means, and specifically for USA, Israel, Japan, India, UK, and China. If you're interested, please keep watching. Stars align and planets glow, mystic secrets will. When Jupiter transits Gemini, expansion happens through information, networks, and connections, but also risks scattering, superficiality, or duality in global affairs. Jupiter equal expansion, wisdom, law, religion, higher knowledge, global finance, growth. Gemini is a sign of communication, media, technology, trade, transportation, duality, youth, adaptability. So what to watch globally? Media and technology boom. I would expect massive growth in AI, digital tools, communication platforms, online education, shift in political discourse, sort of doublespeak, more flexible or opportunistic alliances, fast-moving political deals. Next, legal and trade negotiations, focus on cross-border agreements, treaties, and trade partnerships. Next, everything regards youth, education, learning, reforms or expansions in education systems, especially focused on languages, communication skills, and digital literacy. So if you want to start your own online course in, for example, public speaking, this is right time. And it might be a place for public confusion or contradictions. Gemini's dual nature may create split narratives, polarized opinions, or double-edged outcomes. Risks here, too much information, too much data, fake news, or shallow learning. So watch for it. Financial volatility. Jupiter rules finance, and in Gemini, markets may swing up and down due to media influence or overreaction to news. So watch out if you do some stock market stuff. Moral flexibility, ethics, and truth. Is it Jupiter? May become more fluid or manipulated in the world's conversation. So from 8th May to 14th May, Jupiter will be in a dead degree. So global effects might be political or religious institutions may face sudden turning points or leadership crisis. Financial markets tied to Taurus themes may wobble. Next to watch, Jupiter square Saturn in the second part of May. It's gonna be first time after its conjunction in 2020, so stay tuned. Last time Jupiter was in Gemini in 1966, and few remarkable things happened in financial and space fields. Barclay card introduced the first credit cards in Britain, marking a shift in consumer finance. In USA, the first automated teller machine, ATM, was introduced, and along with miniaturized televisions. Soviet Union launches Luna 10, which becomes the first space probe to enter orbit around the moon. Star Trek premieres, Gemini 12 returns to Earth. This is funny here because Jupiter was transiting Gemini, and they called the spacecraft Gemini 12. Isn't it fun? I think there are some astrologers working in government. And another interesting fact about 1966, 173 US aircrafts bomb North Vietnam. So similar breakthroughs and events has many chances to be repeated and be witnessed. So let's go to the USA. For USA, this Jupiter anaretic moment is a sort of closing one door before stepping into a fragmented faster paced, more reactive phase with Jupiter in Gemini. It's a goodbye to slow, secure, earthy influence, and a hello to mental agility, media complexity, and ideological divide that we already, I think, witnessing. As Jupiter exits Taurus, which is finance, agriculture, security, and prepares to enter Gemini, which is trade, media, split policies, the US may step away from agricultural or trade subsidies tied to foreign allies, face currency shifts or financial exposure related to international partners. Prepare for a volatile tech information-driven economy. Also, there can be goodbye to passive military positioning because Mars rules the 5th house, which is speculation, military risk-taking, and Jupiter conjunct Mars in that degree may trigger one last symbolic military action, decision, or policy, after which the US shifts to more fragmented or reactive military approach under Jupiter in Gemini. It also signals the end of a cycle of arms funding, defense contracts, or military alliances. What blessing it can bring to USA? Jupiter in Gemini brings blessings to the USA through renewed diplomacy and unexpected global partnerships, wins in international legal disputes and rulings, increased soft power via media and public influence, revival of international trade and tech exchange, smarter strategies in dealing with rivals, more flexible and media-savvy foreign policy, and a boost in the country's global image through intelligent communication. For Israel, that has transit Jupiter opposing soon its natal one, Israel is saying goodbye to ideological, religious, and diplomatic structures that once provided predictability. With Jupiter at the 29th degree activating Uranus, the change will be shocking, fast and irreversible. What comes next, Jupiter in Gemini, is fragmented, dualistic, media-driven, and much harder to control. Transit Jupiter in 9th house oppose natal Jupiter in 3rd house, ruling 3rd and 6th houses, can mean split between domestic messaging and international perception, possibly revealing contradictions or forced realignments. Border escalation, cross-border conflict. Jupiter in the 9th may bring international legal pressure, tribunals, or global condemnation. Jupiter in the 3rd, as a ruler of the 6th, shows war as a national habit, perhaps even a strategic tool. The opposition may bring legal limits or moral pushback on ongoing or planned military actions. What blessing can Jupiter potentially in Gemini transit can bring? Jupiter in Gemini in Israel's 9th house brings blessings through renewed diplomacy and global alliances, legal and judicial progress, expansion in education and academia, stronger international influence via media and messaging, fresh perspectives in religious and ideological discourse, improved foreign relations and cultural exchange. For India, this transit, India is saying goodbye to an image of self-contained power and economic control while preparing to enter a more dualistic, complex, communicative, and exposed phase under Jupiter in Gemini. With the 6th house involved the anaretic degree plus square to natal Jupiter, expected external challenge has been faced already just before Jupiter moves into Gemini. Mahadasha Mars, starting in September 2025, tells war could be formally declared or escalated through proxy methods, border skirmishes, or cyber warfare. More in detail in another video. In short, here, the Mars Mahadasha, starting September 2025, with this configuration is a red zone for any nation. It often marks a time of conflict, aggression, resource strain, and hostile diplomacy, especially involving the neighbors or historic rivals. What blessings potentially Jupiter transit can bring for India? Transit Jupiter in Gemini in India's second house brings blessings through financial growth and new revenue streams, tech-driven trade, and digital economy expansion. Reforms in taxations, very much likely, or national budgeting, increased foreign investment and business partnerships, stronger food and resource security, empowerment of speech and national voice in global forums, and educational boosts tied to economics and communication. Next, United Kingdom. The UK is saying goodbye to financial opacity, elite influence, and an old world model of economic and diplomatic power. Jupiter's entry into Gemini will bring a fractured, fast-paced, media-driven, and more exposed face, especially in how the UK communicates with its people, how it manages trade and repositions it might reposition its voice globally. What UK might be saying goodbye to? It might be saying goodbye to financial illusions or unsustainable economic structures. Jupiter moving from second house of wealth, banking, currency to the third house, trade, transport, internal policy, signifies a shift in how the UK earns, manages, and communicates about its finances. Jupiter square natal Pluto in the 11th house can mean pressure from debt obligations, alliances, and shadow financial networks. Likely farewell to generous subsidy programs or outdated financial safety nets. Certain trade deals or European Union related fiscal structures, hidden debts, or financial obligations coming to light. For China, as Jupiter exits 5th house, China may abandon or be forced to scale down propaganda-based confidence, redirecting from image building to damage control. With Jupiter moving into the 6th, focus shifts toward, first of all, internal crisis, second, worker unrest, and systemic inefficiencies. Greater emphasis on medical control, surveillance of laborers, and service economy regulation. Let's not forget that last time Jupiter was in Gemini in 1966, the Cultural Revolution started that took away many lives. It will likely say goodbye this time to diplomatic ambiguity or covert maneuvering and be forced to publicly face the consequences of long-running border tensions, military ambitions, or secret operations. By May 2026, transit Jupiter will oppose natal Jupiter, ruler of 3rd and 12th houses. Escalation of conflict with neighbors will be inevitable. With the 3rd house activated, China may face rising tensions with bordering countries, likely India, Taiwan, or the South China Sea claimants. China may intensify domestic censorship and disinformation. It may be targeted by global counter-narratives. It may face internal resistance through leaked information or underground media. What blessings potentially Jupiter transit can bring for China? Transit Jupiter in Gemini in China's 6th house can bring blessings through advancements in healthcare and medical technology, reforms in labor and workers' rights, expansion of AI and automation in service sectors, strategic improvement in military organization, smarter conflict management through diplomacy, growth in education tied to public service and skills, and rising global influence through efficient systems and disciplined workforce. Japan. Japan may say goodbye to public-facing negotiation. Hello to secret deals. The 7th house is open diplomacy, and the 8th house is what happens behind closed doors. Expect, number 1, secret negotiations on nuclear policy. Defense, number 2, defense spending or regional security. North Korea, Taiwan, etc. Number 4, movement toward less transparency in military or economic restructuring. As Jupiter exits the 7th house in that degree, Japan is saying goodbye to an era of visible diplomacy, soft power reliance, and open negotiation. It enters a phase of deeper transformation, secret agreements, military and financial entanglement, and possibly nuclear policy reconsideration. All central 8th house themes. Jupiter in Gemini, which is 8th house for Japan, will then fracture, split, and accelerate these issues through media, global discourse, and conflicting ideologies. The 8th house is deeply karmic, especially in Japan's chart, where nuclear trauma, sovereignty, and rebirth are central historical themes. Jupiter's exit from the 7th may symbolically mark the closing of Japan's pacifist phase, new defense policies, remilitarization discussions, or constitutional revisions. Cat Jupiter period in 2026 specifically concerning for me. What blessings transit Jupiter and Gemini in Japan's 8th house can bring? Blessings through financial reform and smarter management of national debt, breakthroughs in science, technology, and nuclear policy, renewed foreign investments and shared ventures, transformation in defense and intelligence strategy, increased transparency in hidden institutions, psychological and spiritual healing at the national level, and innovative solutions to long-standing crises. Stars align and planets glow, mystic secrets will